The Curse of Spider-Man 4 must be a real thing because the MCU and Sony Pictures cannot seem to figure this thing out, and this movie is supposed to be coming out a year and a half from now. There's no writer, there's no director, and we have like Zendaya and Tom Holland saying, yeah, we're gonna do it. Look, if you want to go back to the depths of the Tobey Maguire saga, there was supposed to be a fourth film. John Malkovich was supposed to play the Vulture. Sam Raimi has said it would be a down-to-earth, grounded story. We're not gonna do these big crazy things like Venom and Sandman again. Andrew Garfield, he was supposed to get Amazing Spider-Man 3. Then he fought to put himself into the MCU to continue the character, and they didn't even do a third one. And like I said in the last Spider-Man video, please give Andrew his third film. And look, this isn't the production hell of those other times that we had Andrew and Tobey. Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland is going to happen. I'm sure it will be good. All of his Spider-Man movies have been baseline good. They haven't had the weight or the style of the first Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire movies. No Way Home obviously had a little bit of that flair because Tobey and Andrew were in that movie. But Tom Holland's first two movies, Homecoming and Far From Home, have been good. You know, and John Watts, I don't think he gets enough credit for what he was able to do with those movies, but there's no denying that his style lacks a little bit in terms of the visual aspects of Spider-Man compared to Sam Raimi and even Mark Webb. Some of the fight choreography and sequences in Mark Webb's Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 have been coming around again because they're re-released in theaters and people are back on the train that Mark Webb did a pretty dang good job directing those movies. The scripts, not great. And I'm going to get into all the crazy stuff that's happening surrounding Spider-Man 4, all the rumors and speculation and blah, blah, blah. So if you don't want to know any of that stuff, get out of here. I totally understand. Although I think the things that are rumored to be in Spider-Man 4 are going to be like in the marketing in the trailer. So it's not really spoilers for the movie. However, I do think there's a way to go for Spider-Man 4 that I will also get into. So it's going to be rumors and then my take. If you don't know the backstory behind Spider-Man and Sony and the MCU, they have a deal where they make these movies together, right? It used to not be the case, but they brought Spider-Man in for Civil War, recast Tom Holland, so now Sony and Marvel make these movies together. And after the success of No Way Home, Sony is in the camp of, let's do it again. Let's bring Andrew back. Let's bring Tobey back. And let's just do No Way Home again, and it'll be great. It'll make $1 billion, and it probably will. But Kevin Feige and Marvel are looking for a more grounded, grassroots Spider-Man in an apartment, struggling to pay rent, photographer for the Daily Bugle, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, they've found a way to meet in the middle. I don't know how that's even possible, but here's my take on all that. And I think this is a way to connect not only the 3 live-action Spider-Mans, but also to bring in Miles Morales, not live-action, but animated. Not actually bring the animated character into the movies. But what they're able to do with Spider-Verse, if you haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse, spoilers for that movie, but the way they've incorporated the canon events, things that were supposed to happen to lead you to become Spider-Man, right? And now they all have these wristbands that they can talk to each other and jump in and out of the portals to get to different, you know, multiverses or universes or whatever. They can use that as a vessel to have Tobey and Andrew appear in this movie to give Tom Holland advice every now and again when he needs it. He could just go on his little wristband and be like, hey, Peter One, I need some advice. You know, I'm struggling with my job. What did you do? And then you can cut to Tobey and his universe and him talking to Tom Holland on the phone, and then that's over. And then you can see maybe MJ and his kids for a second. You go, oh my God, they were in this movie. Great. Or you could do the same thing with Andrew, have them pop up little cameos so you could say they were in the movie, but they aren't important to the story. Because Tom Holland deserves a real, down-to-earth, grounded version of Spider-Man that we've been building up to. Look, the MCU has come out and said, this wasn't an origin movie, Homecoming, it was an origin trilogy. And did they plan that? No, but it doesn't matter because the execution was so good that you go, it's okay that you kind of just made this up on the fly because it was so well done. He is now officially Spider-Man with his own homemade suit swinging around Manhattan and Times Square. And that's the movie I want to see. And I think that's the movie we deserve to see. And then maybe you can do a movie with just Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I think that's the way to go. Use the Spider-Verse connection so they could talk to each other every now and again, but don't have them be integral to the movie. And then maybe with the post-credit scene, you could set up a movie with them together. You could set up an Amazing Spider-Man 3, a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. You get all these different avenues and options because of Into and Across the Spider-Verse. And I would assume that Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to come out before Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland's movie. I don't know if that's the case, but that would be a way to get them the wristbands, blah, 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 boilerplate stuff. Logistics, they'll figure it out. The villains of this movie, I'm pretty sure that they want to do Fisk. And look, when they first said that Fisk is coming back and it's Vincent D'Onofrio and he's going to be in Spider-Man and all these other things, I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. And then I saw him in Hawkeye and Echo and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But apparently with what they're doing with Daredevil Born Again, I think it would be interesting to see Wilson Fisk running for mayor going up against Peter Parker's Spider-Man. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And apparently they want to do Venom 2. Not Venom 2, Venom also. They want to do Venom also in this movie. So it'd be Venom and Fisk. I don't know how that would particularly work. I don't know. I don't know about Venom. It won't be Tom Hardy's Venom, obviously. It'll be like the symbiote he left behind in the Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm not a huge Venom guy with what they were doing now and what they did before. It seems like it's really hard to get that story right. And God bless them if they think they could figure it out. I'm interested to see what they can do. But here's my take on what they do with the villain. They already cast someone as Scorpion in Homecoming that's an incredible actor. I don't even think they knew how good of an actor Michael Mando was. But if you see him in Better Call Saul, you got to get this guy to be a villain in Spider-Man 4. Have him be the grounded version that brings Peter Parker to the brink of tears because, you know, he lets him die or something. He's letting him down. He's trying to convince Matt Gargan, the Scorpion, don't do this. You've got a family, blah, blah, blah. Michael Mando is an unbelievable actor. And maybe what you could have is him working for Fisk. And it seems like he's an anti-hero. He doesn't want to be doing this, but he needs the money, blah, blah, blah. He hates Spider-Man because the end of Homecoming, Michael Keaton didn't tell him he knew who Spider-Man was, and now that doesn't matter because everyone forgot he existed. But you could have Scorpion working for Fisk. Maybe Peter Parker the whole time is trying to convince him because he's involved in Feast somehow. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. Maybe at the end of the movie, Michael Mando's Scorpion goes, you know what? I'm going to be a good guy. He sacrifices himself to save Spider-Man against Fisk. That could be a really emotional story beat for Tom Holland to go through. There's also the chance that they could bring in a live-action Miles Morales into Spider-Man 4. And I'll tell you right now, if it's not Shameik Moore, I'm going to be very upset. And I'm not going to be anti whoever they cast as Miles Morales. But Shameik Moore, the voice actor for Spider-Man Into and Across the Spider-Verse, deserves the first crack at it. He has the look. He's maybe a little older than they want, but they haven't stopped themselves from casting 30-year-olds to play high school kids before, so they can do it again. Shameik Moore should be Miles Morales. And then there's the director of it all. Everybody and their grandmother has been rumored. Justin Lin, Adam Wingard was rumored today, which is interesting to say the least. Sam Raimi, Drew Goddard. It's been crazy the amount of people that have been, you know, randomly pulled from the internet to say we might do this thing. I don't know if I'm interested in any of those guys. I'm just looking for a little more flash in my Spider-Man movies. I want the action to be more interesting and more weaved into the story. And I want him to be in a practical suit, please. Can he be wearing a suit on set? Is that too much to ask, Kevin and Amy? Is that too much to ask? So look, Spider-Man 4 is a mess, but, you know, sometimes the messy Spider-Man movies create the best stuff. You know, that the Spider-Man has never been easy to do, and the MCU needed to come in to kind of save the character. And I'm grateful for what they did, but I'd like to get back to sort of the stylized Spider-Man with a little MCU flair. I kind of think there's a balance there that they can strike, and apparently they found that balance with the multiverse stuff and with the down-to-earth stuff. I'm interested to see what they do. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Please be sure to subscribe. It's free after all, no charge to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.